So we have a month. We can do it.
Hey, so, you know, and I know that we all enjoyed our Easter weekend, but there are some folks in Kaufman County that woke up on Easter to some horrible, gruesome news about the district attorney and his wife, apparently a home invasion, both murdered. And now it has not just the community on edge, although they're telling the community that this seemed to be a targeted attack. The district attorney's lead deputy was killed just a few months ago, and they think that it might be related, but brings up a really interesting topic, I think, about these prosecutors, these attorneys who are trying these big cases. They're sending the bad guys off to jail. I think maybe we don't realize like how dangerous their job is. You know, we know that law enforcement is a dangerous career, but that side of law enforcement, especially dangerous. And they're usually not protected. They don't carry guns, most of them, although in some places if they have a concealed weapons permit, of course they're encouraged to carry them. But I think it's going to kind of change the conversation.
I was going to say they're going to probably have to stiffen up the penalties, you know, for the attacks against our prosecutors.
Well, it'd be interesting to know how many other prosecutors throughout the United States have been murdered or attacks on them. And then, because we were just talking about 2 incidences in one county, which doesn't necessarily reflect everywhere.
Well, I'll tell you.
You know, so we just have to see how big a problem it is.
Yeah,
but I bet most of them carry concealed weapons.
Hold on, I'm going to tell you. Since 1960, since they started keeping records for the National District Attorneys Association or something like that, there have been 13 killed. And you know, it doesn't seem like a big number since 1960, but when you know that they're all targeted attacks, most of them anyway, you assume are targeted attacks.
There's an intention for killing. It's not an accident.
And unfortunately, once you kind of see this rhythm start or this pattern, it kind of, I believe it will increase if we don't do something.
Yeah.
It's like the killings, the random killings.
But here it is, we're talking how many since 1913, since 1960? That's not one a year. I mean, so this is what happens. It's like one thing happens and now we want to go make a big rule over it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that before we do anything like require them to do something, we need to take a look at all the statistics.
Yeah, I don't think there needs to be any big rule, but I do think that that whenever something like this happens, it opens up the discussion for people all across the country about the safety of this particular career, and it's
and in this instance, it would be up to the individual to do something about his own safety. And I would see carrying a handgun.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm sorry.
Well, and I mean, I think in a situation like that, when you're in a high-risk career, or you're in a public figure, or you know, any of those times where the risk for you might be a little bit higher, to get a concealed weapons permit and carry.
It's really the only alternative, because you can't afford to hire bodyguards for every assistant or prosecutor.
Right.
That would be impossible. So maybe it's up to the individual, like it is in real life, to be, you know.
Well,
I'm not beating a drum here. I'm just saying that.
No, it's okay. And I think in this case, you're probably, you know, right.
In this case, you're probably right.
Right on point.
Susie gets one today.
Anyway, our hearts go out to folks in Kaufman County and certainly that family.